I'm going to take some time to speak about how the pattern of defensiveness ties into affecting the lymphatic system emotionally. So I look to energy patterns and I look to emotional patterns that present themselves in connection with what is happening with the body via symptoms, which I like to call experiences, because I truly believe that the body is expressing something that it wants to get our attention for. In terms of the lymphatic system, it is the system of defense. So when we look at that word as a metaphor, defense, it points to a defensive energy. And so anytime I speak with someone or I'm helping someone who is having issues with the lymph, we talk about defensiveness and how it shows up. And it can show up in a myriad of ways. So, for example, it can show up as a more reactive state where if we're feeling criticized or attacked, the defensiveness can kind of like and ratchet out and basically be like this need to sort of like defend, right? That need to defend because we're feeling attacked. And sometimes that can be like lashing back. That's one way it can manifest. Another way that it can manifest is same energy of like if we're feeling criticized or attacked, a pattern of defense is actually to shut down and close up. Sometimes we can even feel numb in doing that. So I wanted to just show that defensiveness does not look one way. There's a spectrum of how it shows up for us. And if you're having chronic lymphatic issues, it's an energy pattern that we got to look at is like, how is defensiveness showing up for you? What are you feeling defensive about? Does it still stand up anymore? Or is it actually a pattern that is ready to be released and disentangled from so that you can step into confidence? You can step into strength and surety and trust in yourself. And it's really amazing because the body holds on to emotions and experiences and sensations. It has all this information that it basically like absorbs and holds onto in regards to experiences that we've had that have been considered maybe traumatic in a way or just really charged or have had an impact on us. And it does so to keep us safe because it holds on to those things. It records a cellular memory inside of us so that when we find ourselves in these situations or experiences in the future that match that kind of same energy, the nervous system can then basically get activated and say like, this isn't safe for us. We've got to either flee, fight, escape, freeze, whatever the response is that we've learned. And so it's this body's way of protecting us. So thank you, body, first and foremost. And second off, is this pattern ready to change? And if so, then we've got to do some work. Like it takes stretching of the nervous system. It takes facing certain shadow patterns of defensiveness, for example, of where am I feeling defensive in regards to myself, for example? Can I like fully allow myself to be me? Or do I have to keep that locked in on some level? Am I comfortable being and expressing myself? Am I too much and I've got to keep myself shielded, right? There's all these ways and patterns. And what's so cool is the body through the lymphatic system, for example, just one way it communicates is basically saying like, hey, here's this pattern here. How do we feel about moving forward into something new? Because it's actually an invitation into greater self love and self acceptance. And it's wild. That might seem like, what in the hell are you talking about, Steve? But I'm telling you, that's where the power is at. And it brings this beautiful partnership with the body at the forefront of that. And when we can get its message, when we can integrate it on all levels in body, mind, and spirit and change the energy pattern, it's unbelievable. Like we become a new version of the self. And on top of it, the lymphatic system can heal and do its thing. Added bonus, right? Like the whole purpose of that physical thing popping up was actually to invite you into something greater. And then it's like, okay, you got the message. We can now like take care of this because the body is completely capable of healing itself. So, I'd be curious if this resonates with you. You can feel free to leave me a comment below. If you feel like really drawn to this perspective and it's like something that you want for yourself and want help with, this is exactly what I do with people. And I would love to connect with you and help you too. So you can do so by either clicking on the button or filling out the form below. And I would love to speak with you about that. So I'm always rooting for you. I'm always here to empower you. I am here to bring an empowering perspective to health and well-being. And I'm just happy that you found this space. So until next time, take care.